In an Arctic apocalypse, you have two choices: 100 tons of high-quality coal or a custom RV. Which would you pick? In my past life, persuaded by my best friend, I chose the 100 tons of coal. But who knew he would team up with the colleague I trusted most? To leave me to freeze to death in the icy wilderness, while they used my coal. To become the uncrowned kings of the apocalypse, gorging themselves on lavish feasts every day. They even had hundreds of beautiful women kneeling to serve them. When I opened my eyes again, I had actually returned to the day of the choice. At that moment, I was standing on the awards stage at my company's annual party. The host was holding up two signs. Congratulations to Lin Jingyan for winning the grand prize, 100 tons of high-quality coal, or a basic custom RV. You must choose one of the two options. Just then, my so-called best friend, Xu Yunpeng, squeezed through and put his arm around my shoulder. Jingyan, pick the coal. The price of coal is getting more and more expensive. It'll definitely become even scarcer soon. The weather has been getting so strangely cold lately. Staying warm is the most important thing. That RV is all flash and no substance. Guzzles gas, it's hard to maintain, it's completely useless. The colleague I trusted most, Du Hongwen, also came closer, nodding in agreement. He's right, Jingyan, an RV is just for show. It's not secure at all. It's not as reliable as a supply of coal. The way the two of them were playing off each other, I couldn't help but be reminded of my past life. Back then, the apocalypse had already begun, and those two stole all of my coal. I was curled up in the snow, clutching the last half bag of coal for dear life. It was my last hope for survival. But Xu Yunpeng and Du Hongwen, standing before me, still wouldn't let me be. Du Hongwen kicked my leg, which was already frozen stiff. Lin Jingyan, if you know what's good for you, hand over the rest of the coal. Otherwise, we're not taking care of you anymore. Xu Yunpeng sighed with fake reluctance. Jingyan, don't blame us. In this apocalypse, coal is life. You can't protect it all by yourself anyway. Give it to us to share with everyone. That way, we can at least remember your good deed. I struggled, trying to get up. But Du Hongwen viciously shoved me back down into the snow. The back of my head slammed hard against a rock. The blood flowing from the wound froze instantly into ice. I could only watch helplessly as the two of them snatched away my last half bag of coal. Before long, I heard the roar of a zombie nearby. Then, I felt its sharp claws pierce my skin. Before my consciousness faded, I had only one thought: if I could do it all over again, I would never trust them again, and I wouldn't cling to that damned coal. Snapping back to my senses, I suppressed the hatred boiling inside me. I looked up at the host. I choose the RV. As soon as the words left my mouth, the entire room erupted in an uproar. Du Hongwen was so anxious he stomped his foot. Lin Jingyan, are you crazy? What's the use of picking a useless RV? Listen to me. Hurry up and change it to the coal. Xu Yunpeng also gripped my shoulder tightly. Jingyan, don't be impulsive. Think about it again. Isn't coal more useful than an RV? I shook his hand off my shoulder. I'm choosing the RV, and I'm not changing my mind. Seeing the furious, teeth-gritting expressions on their faces, I knew in my heart that the 100 tons of coal was my death warrant, and the RV was the true mobile safe haven in the apocalypse. After getting the keys to the RV, I immediately contacted the city's top RV modification team. Then I went home, counted my savings, and applied for the maximum loan amount on every online lending platform. Next up was modifying the RV. I gave the customization team my list of self-sufficiency requirements. I want the highest grade reinforcements and the body welded with 10 cm thick bulletproof armor. The windows are to be replaced with top-of-the-line explosion-proof and bulletproof glass, and the chassis raised by 30 centimeters. Install anti-slip snow tracks and change the tires to puncture-proof, military-grade ones. The doors need multiple deadbolts, and the interior should be converted into a one-bedroom, one living room, one bathroom layout. Install an independent power storage unit, a water purification system, and an oxygen supply system. The faster the modifications, the better. I need to be able to pick up the vehicle first thing tomorrow morning. The head of the customization team looked at my determined expression, then glanced at the hefty deposit. He immediately agreed to a rush job overnight. I stayed and waited at the workshop, keeping an eye on the workers while frantically placing orders online. I bought as many survival supplies as I could possibly think of, planning to cram every inch of the RV's storage space full of them. In the apocalypse, I can only rely on myself. The RV modifications were completed by dawn the next day. I got in to inspect it. The internal climate control system had already been calibrated, and the storage space was huge. I sat down in the driver's seat. The moment my fingertips touched the steering wheel, a mechanical voice echoed in my mind. RV Fortress system successfully linked. Host, Lin Jingyan, initial functions unlocked, unlimited basic supply replenishment, basic defenses activated, internal temperature stable at 25 degrees Celsius. Energy is self-sufficient. Hearing this, I froze for a moment, then threw my head back and laughed. Doesn't this mean that in the apocalypse, I'll never have to worry about food and resources again? Following the system's prompt, I opened the supply hatch next to the passenger seat, and a bag of rice actually slid out. I tried again, and a bottle of drinking water was dispensed. Then I looked at the control panel, and the RV's once empty fuel tank was instantly full. I could finally relax. In this life, not only do I have a mobile fortress, I also have unlimited supplies. I parked the vehicle downstairs at my apartment complex. Late that night, the global temperature plummeted below zero. Panic began to erupt on the streets. People were shivering uncontrollably from the cold. Others were frantically looting supplies from supermarkets, while I sat inside my RV, as warm as a spring day, quietly waiting for the end of the world. The next morning, I was woken up by a commotion outside. Through the window, all I could see was a raging blizzard. Visibility was less than 5 meters. I picked up my phone. The temperature was minus 40 degrees Celsius. My screen was instantly flooded with countless emergency alerts. The temperature had plummeted overnight to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Water and power were out worldwide. Transportation was paralyzed. There were also multiple reports of unprovoked attacks in various places. The assailants were extremely aggressive, and were suspected of carrying some kind of viral infection. The apocalypse was really here. I immediately locked all the doors and windows of the RV and activated the internal climate control. A system prompt chimed in right on cue. Energy levels full. Constant temperature of 25 degrees Celsius engage. I requested a bowl of hot porridge and a side of pickled vegetables from the supply hatch. I took them to the table and ate slowly. By now, the world outside was a living hell. The streets were now filled with people who had turned into monsters. Their skin was a bluish purple, and their bodies were stiff, yet they possessed incredible strength. Roaring as they pounce on survivors, those are the zombies. I didn't expect them to appear earlier and be more ferocious than in my past life. The attacked survivors showed the same symptoms in just a few seconds. A zombie spotted my RV and charged at it violently. It slammed hard against the body of the vehicle. A regular car next to it was dented and deformed after just one hit from a zombie. But my RV was only left with a shallow scratch. Just then, the system's voice sounded in my head. System alert. Impact detected. Basic defense activated. Vehicle body hardness increased. I used the hot water supplied by the system to make a cup of coffee, watching the human tragedy unfold outside the window. But I wasn't moved in the slightest. My tragic death in my past life made me understand. In the apocalypse, being soft-hearted is being cruel to yourself. As I left the table, I accidentally cut my finger on the corner. The wound immediately started to bleed. I quickly opened the system's supply inventory. I redeemed some iodine and bandages. After treating the wound, I couldn't help but sigh. The convenience of the system is truly reassuring. Not long after, a burst of urgent knocking broke the silence inside the RV. I listened closely. It was mixed with Xu Yunpeng's shouts. Lin Jingyan, open the door, save us. I looked out the window. Those two were covered in snow. Their lips were purple from the cold, and a few neighbors and colleagues were following behind them. Xu Yunpeng pounded on the door, crying and shouting, Jingyan, I know you're in there. Hurry and open the door and let us in. It's full of monsters outside. It's terrifying. Even though you didn't listen to us about getting charcoal, we won't hold it against you anymore. Just hurry up and open the door so we can hide. Du Hongwen was also banging wildly on the RV door. Lin Jingyan, you can't just stand by and watch us die. We were colleagues, after all. Your RV is so big. What's wrong with letting us inside to hide? I know you must have hoarded supplies. Just share a little with us. Otherwise, we're all going to freeze to death out here. I sneered. I really don't know where they get their confidence. They still think I'm the same Lin Jingyan who couldn't bear to let his good buddies suffer. They didn't just want to come in to hide for a bit. They clearly wanted to take over my RV and my supplies. I walked to the door and stared at the two of them coldly through the armored glass. I can't save you. You'll have to figure something out on your own. Hearing this, a furious Du Hongwen kicked the door hard. Lin Jingyan, you're cold-blooded and heartless. You'll get what you deserve. Seeing that I wasn't as easy to fool as before, Xu Yunpeng also burst out cursing in anger. Lin Jingyan, you ungrateful bastard. I was so good to you, and you're just going to watch me die? Their shouting attracted a few zombies. The zombies then roared and pounced on the group. They instantly panicked and scattered. Xu Yunpeng and Du Hongwen turned and ran in terror. A few of the slower neighbors were tackled by the zombies, and their screams echoed through the neighborhood. I watched this scene, feeling absolutely nothing. However, I still shouted to a few elderly people and children hiding in a corner. There are no zombies in the west side garage. Quick, hide in there. The number of zombies in the neighborhood was growing. I can't stay here any longer. I started the RV, and its snow tracks rolled steadily over the frozen road. It easily went over a few abandoned cars, and a system prompt appeared. Complex road conditions detected, power adapting to snow mode, driving stability increased. I had already planned my route. I headed toward the city's outskirts. The urban area was densely populated, but the number of zombies would only grow. The suburbs, in contrast, were relatively safe. The RV sped along, and I gripped the steering wheel. Beginning the first leg of my apocalyptic survival journey. With this mobile fortress in the system, I was fearless. After driving for half a day, I parked the RV at a highway service area. The place was deserted. For now, there were no signs of zombies. I opened the system's supply cache, cooked a pot of noodles, and even added ham and 2 eggs. In an apocalypse where resources are scarce, a simple meal like this is the ultimate luxury. After I'd had my fill, I got out to check the RV's condition. It had just been rammed by zombies so many times, so I had to see if the body was damaged. Just then, a system notification chimed in my mind. Cumulative zombie impacts resisted. 10. Defense system automatically upgrading. Body armor thickness doubled. New side protection bars added. Defensive capabilities significantly increased. At the same time, a new function popped up on the system panel. Weapon supply access unlocked. 10 crossbow bolts redeemable per day. 2 machetes. Joy surged through me. With weapons, my ability to protect myself was that much stronger. I immediately redeemed a machete and a few crossbow bolts, placing them within easy reach. Just as I finished organizing the weapons and was preparing to set off again, I saw Du Hongwen and Xu Yunpeng approaching with 3 unfamiliar survivors, surrounding the RV. They were holding iron bars, their eyes greedily fixed on the RV. Looking for a chance to steal it, Du Hongwen stood at the front, waving the iron bar in his hand. Lin Jingnian, I didn't expect you to be holding out on us. This RV is really something. Looks like we really underestimated you before. If you know what's good for you, open the door and hand over the RV and your supplies. Otherwise, we won't be so polite. Xu Yunpeng, however, was frowning as he looked at me. Jingnian, we don't have a choice. We've been hiding everywhere these past few days, and nearly got eaten by zombies. For the sake of our past friendship, just let us on the RV. We definitely won't take your things. Beside him, a burly man reached out to try and pry the door open. Stop wasting time talking to him. Just smash it open. This RV is ours. But as soon as his hand touched the armored door, the repulsive force sent a jolt of pain through him, and he cried out. Sitting in the driver's seat, I shot them a warning look, then pressed a button on the control panel. Sturdy protection bars suddenly shot out from the sides of the RV, forcing the men to retreat again and again. Then, I opened the sunroof, raised my crossbow, and aimed at the iron bar in Du Hongwen's hand. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The bolt flew true, knocking the iron bar to the ground. Seeing this, Du Hongwen trembled with fear. My voice boomed out through the RV's sound system. Get lost, if you dare come any closer. The next bolt won't be aimed at an iron bar, but at your hearts. Du Hongwen hadn't expected me to have weapons. Seeing that taking it by force wouldn't work, model. He suddenly shouted to the distance, zombies. Everyone, over here, there's a living person here. He was actually trying to lure the zombies to swarm me. Soon, about a dozen of them charged right over. Du Hongwen and the others immediately hid to the side, waiting to watch me get torn apart by the zombie horde. I immediately pressed the defense button, and a fine protective net automatically rose from the RV's roof. Zombies frantically slammed against the RV, but were blocked by the protective net and its heavy armor. They couldn't get close at all. Instead, they started tearing at each other in the crowded chaos. System prompt: dense zombie attack detected. Automatically deploying disinfectant spray to prevent zombie fluids from remaining on the vehicle's body and causing corrosion. Then, several nozzles popped out from the side of the RV. They sprayed disinfectant, cleaning off the zombie fluids that had splattered onto the vehicle. Seeing that the zombies couldn't get near, I started the RV. I drove towards Du Hongwen and his group. They were scared out of their wits. They completely forgot about taking the vehicle and just turned and ran. 2 of the slower survivors were instantly pounced on by the zombies, followed by a series of piercing screams. Du Hongwen and Xu Yunpeng ran for their lives, managing to barely escape by leaving the zombies behind. I didn't finish them off. It's not that I'd gone soft. I just didn't want to waste time and energy on them. Without supplies or a way to stay warm, they can only hide and scrounge in this apocalypse, living a life worse than death. That's more satisfying than killing them outright. Watching the 2 of them flee in terror, I silently swore to myself, in this life, I will never make the same mistakes I did in my past life. And as for what you all did to me back then, I will pay you back for every single thing. Just then, the system's voice echoed in my mind again. System prompt. Man-made crisis successfully resolved. Supply categories unlocked and upgraded. New item. Thermal sleeping bags. Emergency fuel. Supplies are now unlimited. Hearing this, I felt relieved. After confirming the RV was undamaged, I started the vehicle. Relying on the memories from my past life, I headed towards a rumored agricultural supply warehouse. By evening, I finally reached my destination. The area was covered in thick snow. It looked completely deserted. I got out of the vehicle to scout the area. I saw only 3 regular zombies wandering around the warehouse perimeter. I grabbed my machete and got out. I quietly snuck up behind one of the zombies and, catching it off guard, swung my machete at the back of its head. The zombie dropped instantly. The other 2 heard the noise and came screeching towards me. I dodged them and got back into the RV. I started the RV and knocked the zombies to the ground. While they were still down, I quickly got out again to finish them off. I dealt with them cleanly and efficiently. Afterwards, I entered the warehouse. Inside, it was surprisingly clean and tidy. In a corner, there was a pile of unfrozen seeds. After I brought the seeds back to the vehicle, the system's prompt sounded in my head. Special item detected. Seeds. Supply function upgraded. All types of crop seeds are now available for unlimited exchange, fulfilling long-term survival needs. This was absolutely fantastic news. With seeds, I could now cultivate land in a suitable place. I could become self-sufficient for food, no longer relying solely on the ready-made food supplied by the system for energy. Just as I was joyfully gathering the seeds, a roar suddenly came from the depths of the warehouse. Right after, a massive zombie burst out. It was much more agile than a regular one. It must be the warehouse manager, mutated into an advanced zombie. Boosted by the low-temperature environment, its combat power had grown even stronger. Just then, it suddenly roared and lunged at me. I dodged just in time and rushed back to the RV. I started the RV and rammed it hard with the back end, but the advanced zombie's defenses were even stronger. After being hit by the RV, it only stumbled back a few steps. Not only was it completely unharmed, it became even more enraged. It violently grabbed the rear of the RV and forcefully dragged it back several meters, leaving deep gouges in the vehicle's armor. At that moment, the system's voice chimed in again. System notification. High-intensity attack detected. Defense alarm activated. Energy consumption is increasing. I got up and opened the RV's sunroof. I aimed the crossbow I redeemed last time and fired a bolt at the zombie. But when the bolt hit, the sharp arrowhead didn't even pierce the zombie's skin. It only left a faint scratch. I was shocked. This advanced zombie was terrifying. Even the weapon I had couldn't hurt it. I was no match for this advanced zombie. At this critical moment, a woman suddenly rushed out from the dark corner of the warehouse. She was holding a homemade Molotov cocktail. She hurled it right at the advanced zombie's eyes. With a whoosh, flames erupted instantly. The advanced zombie cried out in pain. It let go of the RV and started clawing at its eyes, screeching wildly. The woman seized the opportunity and yelled, "Quick! Attack its head, that's its weak spot. Its body is tough, but its skull hasn't fully hardened yet." Hearing this, I immediately opened the system's weapon supply. This time, the system presented me with a limited time redemption option. Limited time unlock. Flamethrower. Effective for 1 hour. Weapon can be used to execute advanced zombies. Exchange. I grabbed the flamethrower I'd redeemed, jumped out of the RV, and aimed a stream of fire at the advanced zombie's head. Intense flames scorched the advanced zombie's head. It let out a blood-curdling shriek. Its body thrashed around, but it couldn't escape the searing fire. Meanwhile, the woman was setting up a mechanical trap with some rope nearby to keep it from moving. A few minutes later, the advanced zombie finally collapsed to the ground. I kept the flamethrower aimed at it. I didn't breathe a sigh of relief until its body was burned to a pile of ash. After turning off the flamethrower, I turned to the woman to thank her. "Thank you so much for your help. My name is Lin Jingyan." The woman, with a stoic expression, waved her hand dismissively. "It was nothing. My name is Su Jia. I'm a mechanic. I've been hiding in this warehouse for days. I've wanted to get rid of that monster for a while, just never had the chance." Su Jia looked at my RV with unconcealed admiration in her eyes. "You've done a great job modifying this RV. It's practically the best life insurance you can have in the apocalypse. I know my way around machines. I can help you with maintenance, check your equipment, and even help you rig up some new gadgets. All I ask is that you let me ride with you. I won't touch your supplies, and I'll never betray you. If I ever have second thoughts, you can kick me out anytime." I looked Su Jia over. She had delicate, pretty features. Her eyes were clear and she had a tall, slender build. Her clothes are clean and neat, and she didn't hesitate to help me just now. Without her, I don't know what it would have cost me to take down that high-level zombie. She seems like someone I can trust. It's too lonely to be alone in this apocalypse. Having a partner who understands mechanics It also saved me a lot of trouble. I nodded. Alright, Su-jia, get in. From now on, we'll be partners in survival. After Su-jia and I cleared out the warehouse supplies, I brought her into the RV to show her all its features. Su-jia carefully inspected the entire RV and even used some parts from the warehouse to repair the damage caused by that high-level zombie. Just then, a system notification chimed. Successfully eliminated a high-level zombie. Energy core has been upgraded. RV's cruising range increased. New expanded storage space added inside the vehicle. Can now hold more supplies. While we were resting, I told Su-jia what had happened on my journey. After hearing my story, she lowered her head and thought for a moment. There's a hostile camp on the outskirts of the city. Their leader is ruthless. He has a lot of men, and they specialize in robbing survivors of their supplies and vehicles. Their methods are incredibly brutal. Those two guys you ran into before most likely joined that camp. They're sure to bring people to cause trouble for you. We need to get away from the camp's direction and head for the remote mountains. There are fewer zombies there, and it'll be harder for the camp's people to find us. I nodded. You're right, we'll leave right now. After Su-jia and I packed everything up, we drove the RV toward the more remote mountains, looking for a safe place to stay long-term and to avoid the impending crisis. Along the way, Su-jia and I took turns driving. We did our best to avoid areas with large groups of zombies. Just as we were about to reach a valley, the roar of car engines echoed from behind us. I looked in the rearview mirror. A dozen off-road vehicles were right on our tail, led by none other than Xu Yunpeng and Du Hongwen. They had about a dozen burly men with them, all holding shotguns. They were clearly from that hostile camp. Soon, the off-road vehicles caught up and forced our RV to a stop on a narrow mountain road. Du Hongwen walked up to the front of the RV with his shotgun. Lin Jingnian, go on, run. Why'd you stop running? I knew you'd try to hide in the mountains. Good thing we came prepared. If you know what's good for you, get out of the car now and hand over the RV and your supplies. The boss said that if you do as you're told, he might just let you live. Otherwise, don't blame us for what happens next. Xu Yunpeng got out of his car too. Lin Jingnian, did you really think you could get away? Open the door if you know what's good for you. Otherwise, we start shooting. That RV of yours might be tough, but I doubt it can handle getting blasted by all these shotguns. Seeing the situation, Su-jia and I looked at each other, and she immediately understood. She would handle the RV's defense systems and supply management, while I would handle the counterattack. This mountain road is narrow. They have numbers, but they can't spread out to attack. It's the perfect place to make a stand. When they saw I wasn't responding, Du Hongwen gave the order, fire on them. Smashing at the car door, the burly men behind them all opened fire. The bullets hit the RV, leaving only shallow marks. The bulletproof glass was completely unharmed. A system prompt sounded right on cue. Gunfire attack detected, automatically raising vehicle armor plating. Full defense activated, sturdy armor plates rose up around the RV. Blocking all the bullets, I took the crossbow and flamethrower that Su-jia had acquired. I opened the sunroof and shot at the burly men on the mountain road. The crossbow bolts accurately hit several men in the legs, and the flames from the flamethrower sent everyone scrambling for cover. In an instant, more than half of them were dead or injured. Screams rose one after another. Seeing this, Du Hongwen himself drove straight towards the RV to ram it. I refused to believe I can't wreck you, but Su-jia was already prepared and pressed a button. A sturdy anti-collision bar shot out from the side of the RV, flipping Du Hongwen's oncoming SUV. He and his vehicle plunged into the ravine beside the road with a loud crash. When Xu Yunpeng saw Du Hongwen fall off the cliff, he was so terrified he dropped straight to his knees. He kowtowed repeatedly towards the RV. Jing Nian, I was wrong. It was Du Hongwen. He forced me. He's the one who made me join the camp and lead them to you. Please spare me. I'll never do it again. I glanced at him with a calm expression. In the apocalypse, you have to pay the price for your mistakes. Xu Yunpeng's face turned deathly pale. He was about to continue begging for mercy when the roar of zombies echoed from the distance. The zombies, drawn by the gunfire, charged over and instantly tackled Xu Yunpeng to the ground. His screams gradually faded into the cold wind. Just then, Du Hongwen, who had fallen into the ravine, actually managed to climb back up, holding a knife. He tried to take the opportunity to sneak attack me inside the RV. But Su-jia was too quick. She maneuvered the RV's tracks, turning them to run right over Du Hongwen. Du Hongwen didn't have time to dodge and was crushed beneath the tracks. His life was completely snuffed out. Looking at the gruesome deaths of the two men, a thrill of successful revenge surged through me. Seeing this, the remaining few men were scared out of their wits. They dropped their weapons and began to flee in all directions. Su-jia and I didn't bother to chase them. After collecting the weapons on the road, we continued driving towards the valley. A system prompt appeared, ultimate crisis averted, RV evolving into mobile fortress, ultimate function unlocked, camp anchoring, can secure a 10-meter area around the RV, forming a safe zone with a constant temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Resists zombies and low temperatures, unlimited supplies of all categories unlocked, including various medical supplies and mechanical repair materials, as well as living supplies to meet long-term survival needs. I was overjoyed to hear this. The unlocking of the ultimate function meant that I could finally settle down. Sujia and I drove the RV and arrived at that valley sheltered from the wind. The place was surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. Easy to defend and hard to attack, it was the perfect place to settle down. I pressed the camp anchoring button, and the RV was firmly secured to the ground. Invisible barrier instantly rose up within a 10-meter radius, keeping the temperature at a constant 25 degrees Celsius. Keeping the biting wind and snow outside. In the days that followed, Sujia and I started building a temporary safe zone. We used seeds from the system's supplies to cultivate the land, planting vegetables and grains. Meanwhile, Sujia used her knowledge of mechanics to continue helping me upgrade the RV's facilities. Occasionally, a few stray zombies would wander into the valley, but we dealt with them easily. Inside the climate-controlled safe zone anchored by the RV, the vibrant green vegetables had already sprouted. Sujia used wood and metal parts from the system's supplies to build a simple storage shed and a fence, expanding the 10-meter safe zone by another 5 meters. She even installed an early warning bell. Whenever a zombie got close, the bell would let out a crisp chime. Every morning, I would first check the RV's systems to make sure we had enough power and that the supply line was functioning properly. Then I'd go check on the crops in the fields. The seeds we got from the system were extremely resilient, even in the valley's cold climate. With the help of the safe zone's climate control, the vegetables were growing beautifully. Sujia, meanwhile, would stay by the RV, carefully inspecting its tracks and defense systems. She was very fond of the RV, so she wouldn't allow for even the slightest mistake. One afternoon, a faint cry for help suddenly echoed from outside the valley. Sujia and I were instantly on alert. We grabbed our weapons and followed the sound towards the entrance of the valley. There, we saw a pair of sisters huddled together in the snow. Neither of them looked older than 20. They were wearing thin, tattered cotton clothes, their lips purple from the cold. The older sister's leg had been scratched by a zombie, and the wound was already red, swollen, and festering. Seeing them like this, I couldn't help but remember how helpless and alone I was in my past life. My heart stirred, but I didn't rush to offer help. I looked down at them and asked, "Who are you? How did you end up here?" The older sister weakly lifted her head. "We escaped from the city. Our family. They were bitten by zombies. It's just the 2 of us now. We've been hiding this whole time. We stumbled upon this place by accident. Please, I'm begging you, take us in. My sister can't hold on much longer. I'll do any work you ask. I promise I won't be any trouble." Sujia was observing the sisters from the side. She saw the sincerity in the woman's eyes, and her little sister looked so pitiful. Besides, her wound is really bad. If we leave her, she won't make it through the night. Our safe zone is pretty secure now, and we could use the extra hands. We just have to make sure she's not infected with the virus first. I nodded. I took out a virus detection kit from the system and confirmed that the woman just had a normal scratch. Only after seeing no signs of infection did I let them into the safe zone. Afterwards, I used some special medicine from the system's supplies to treat the older sister's wound. I also cooked some hot porridge for them. The sisters' eyes were filled with gratitude. The older sister, named Shen Qing, was exceptionally beautiful. She used to be a preschool teacher. The younger sister had bright eyes and a lovely smile. Her name was Shen Lexi, and she hadn't graduated from college yet. The 2 sisters were quick and capable, helping with the laundry and cooking every day. They brought a bit of life to the valley. But the peaceful days didn't even last half a month. Crisis struck once again. Late that night, the early warning bell suddenly started ringing like crazy. I shot awake. Looking at the RV's monitor, I saw them at the valley entrance, a dozen or so mutated zombies. They are larger than regular zombies, and their skin has an icy blue sheen. These are the ice zombies Sujia mentioned. This type of zombie is a mutated breed from the late cold snap. Not only are they cold resistant, but they can also breathe out freezing air. Anything they touch freezes instantly. Their combat strength is far greater than that of ordinary zombies. And behind the ice zombies were the remaining lackeys from the enemy camp. They were holding ice picks, clearly intending to take advantage of the ice zombies' attack. Seize the safe zone's supplies in our RV. I calmly issued my commands. Sujia, activate the RV's ultimate defense system. Raise the outer armor. Shen Qing, take your sister and hide in the innermost part of the RV and lock the door. I'll guard the fence with the flamethrower. System prompt. Mutated ice zombies detected. Ultimate defense system fully activated. Outer armor reinforced, all power is being diverted to the flame barrier. A ring of fire instantly rose up around the RV. As soon as the ice zombies got close, the frost on their bodies began to melt. But they still roared and charged forward, while the camp's remaining men hid behind the zombies, throwing ice picks in an attempt to destroy the fence. Su Jia was operating the RV's defense system. Jing Nian, this won't work if it keeps up. The flame barrier consumes too much energy, and the ice zombies aren't afraid of the cold. We have to aim for their heads, their weak spot. I'm going to modify some flame traps. You hold the front line. As soon as she finished speaking, Su Jia rushed into the storage shed, taking out gasoline and metal parts to set up traps outside the fence. I controlled the flamethrower, aiming it at the ice zombies' heads. The high-temperature flames instantly scorched them. The zombie let out a piercing shriek, fell to the ground, convulsed for a moment, and then stopped moving. Shen Qing and his sister were hiding in the RV. Using the first aid knowledge he had learned before, he organized the bandages and disinfectant from the system supply. Then, he activated the RV's backup power to supply the defense system. Brother Jing Nian, sister Su Jia, the backup power is connected. We can hold on. Just then, an ice zombie broke through the flame barrier and lunged straight at me. I dodged to the side, but the zombie's sharp claws still scratched my arm. Wincing in pain, I raised the flamethrower in my hands and blasted the zombie's head with all my might. I didn't breathe a sigh of relief until it was reduced to ashes. Su Jia had also finished setting up her flame traps. She pressed the switch, and a massive fire instantly erupted outside the fence, trapping the ice zombies and the men from the camp. Screams and roars mixed together. Seeing this, the remaining men from the camp turned to run. But they were targeted by the ice zombies instead, which instantly pounced on and mauled them. The few remaining ice zombies were all slain under the combined pincer attack from Su Jia and me. After the battle, the safe zone was a complete mess. Shen Qing bandaged my arm, while Su Jia was also exhausted and drenched in sweat. Shen Lexi brought over hot water and food. Brother Jing Nian, sister Su Jia, thank you for all your hard work. If it weren't for you two, my brother and I would have been long gone. I took the food and smiled. It's nothing, as long as we can protect our safe zone, that's all that matters. System prompt, successfully eliminated mutated ice zombies. Safe zone has been reinforced. A new ice-type defensive barrier has been added, capable of withstanding cold air attacks. The supply drop now includes a new specialized medicine that can rapidly heal zombie scratches. Upon hearing that, I immediately redeemed the new specialized medicine. The pain vanished the moment Shen Qing helped me apply it. The wound also healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the days that followed, we all worked together to improve the safe zone. Su Jia used the weapons and parts left behind by the former occupants of the camp to build stronger fences and warning systems. She also dug traps at the valley entrance. Shen Qing kept the fields in perfect order and even taught Shen Lexi how to identify the crops. As we grew more and more vegetables in the safe zone, the system also unlocked the option to trade for chickens and ducks. I, on the other hand, regularly took the RV out to scout, making sure there were no large zombie hordes or hostile factions nearby. I'd also bring back some useful supplies along the way. The RV's endurance and defenses grew stronger with each expedition. As the sun set, I stood in the fields, watching Su Jia mend the farm tools. Shen Qing was feeding the chickens and ducks with Shen Lexi. Smoke from our cooking rose from the RV. The aroma of the meal filled the safe zone. Outside the valley, the world was still a frozen wasteland. The roars of zombies were endless. The apocalypse was not over yet. But I was no longer the weak and helpless person I was in my past life, isolated and at the mercy of others. I have an impenetrable mobile fortress and trustworthy companions. I have a never-ending supply of resources, and more importantly, the will and hope to keep on living. Shen Lexi ran over holding a bouquet of flowers and handed them to me. Brother Jing Nian, look, aren't they pretty? I took the wildflowers and glanced over at the RV in the distance. A content smile formed on my lips. No matter how difficult the apocalypse becomes, as long as I have this mobile fortress and the people beside me, I will have nothing to fear for all the days to come.